Hey everyone, welcome back to our channel. I'm Brad and this is John and we're the Posh Kings.
Hello everyone, we hope you are doing well. It's good to be back,
Yes.
but yet again to share some reseller Q&A. Yeah. As you know, typically this is what we do, reseller Q&A for the most part. Lots of people were very fortunate to reach out to us throughout the week and ask us certain questions that they're curious about to get our opinion. But of course, as we always say, it is just that it's our opinion.
Yes.
Take
Disclaimer.
it for whatever it's worth. If you don't agree, that's totally cool. Do not beat us up about it. It's not that serious. Also, yeah, serious.
It isn't.
Look, if you have a different way of doing things, cheers,
100%.
cheers. This is just our point of view. Take it for whatever it's worth, and that's pretty much it.
And if you guys want to keep asking us questions or if you want our thoughts on a certain topic or whatever, make sure you DM us on Instagram or even Facebook.
ThePoshKings, ThePoshKings. And feel free to follow us if you like.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, we love that.
Yes. The links
All
are
right.
down in the description, by the way.
Yeah, of course. So let's get started. Get to the root of the thing.
Yes.
Questions. So
What's the
first
question,
one
John?
is, I love doing posh shows. However, I feel I'm working way too hard. I go to the bins every day and then sell what I source that day, that night. I'm exhausted. It's too much work. What should I do?
Yeah.
I'll start. No wonder you're exhausted. That's too
it's a lot
much
of
work. Look, the bins are great. Bins are wonderful. Obviously, you can get great things
lot.
if you really search a lot. You know, I mean, I always wondered, like, what's the percentage of great things to the whatever things? The price is right. You can't beat the price. And look, you're saving the earth. So cheers to all of the above. However, typically, posh shows are based on volume. You know, there are certain products you can make a ton of money on, and cheers to everyone that does. But overall, they're based on volume. It's really, really hard to do posh shows at 6 or 7, or even on Whatnot, or Jamble, or wherever it is that you do live sales on. It's impossible, virtually,
And to sell volume.
to keep up.
To keep up with the volume. If you're going to do volume stuff, obviously if you're selling luxury goods, i.e. like Louis Vuitton bags and Gucci
Or the
bags.
hottest brands,
Or the
whatever
hottest
it is.
brands, and that's a little bit different. But if we're talking about just general, from top to bottom, it is hard to keep up with the volume if you're going to be going through a lot of merchandise. In fact, when we first applied for Whatnot, which was, I think, oh gosh, I don't know how long ago it was now, but when we first,
Year and a half, 2 years.
one of the main questions they asked, and to this day, because we know sellers that have been asked and are now getting approved to go onto Whatnot as well, the one question they will always ask you is, how much merchandise can you get, and are you sure you can handle getting that all the time?
Yeah. Do you have access
To
to
a
enough
lot.
merchandise to keep the machine running?
Because they understand how,
It's
like,
a very valid question.
yeah, it really was. Like, and actually, I was really intrigued by the way they asked us that, and then I found out that other sellers were also asked the same question, and it's true. If you're putting in that much energy, because we know people that will literally go to the bins 7 days a week, or even 5 days a week, or even 4 days a week, but they're spending
It's hard. It's a lot of work.
a whole day there. That's a long day. We've done it in the past.
Years ago.
Before COVID. Before lockdown, yep. We would go in there, and honestly, we would make like the 4th hour, and I was like, we were burnt out, because it's a lot. There's a lot of excitement with the bins coming, all that stuff, comes into it. So definitely keeping up with the volume of it is really, really, really difficult.
It's very difficult. So our answer is, look, going to the bins is great.
Yeah.
Look, cheers to it. Going, whatever. It's wonderful. You get great prices. But if you're going to keep up with the volume of live selling, you have got to find a method in which you can shop from home and buy volume in addition to whatever you're doing.
Definitely.
There are so many sourcing companies that are out there. I mean, numerous. They're all over
Social media.
That may be a better way to go. Even if you have to, you look at it this way. Even if you have to up the price of your start, because I know people love to do the $3
I was
gig.
just going to say this.
If you're not using gas and time, you know, it may be worth it if you sell fewer items, but you up your start. I mean,
Yeah.
it's exhausting, and we can understand anyone that kind of goes that avenue. It's very hard. It's very hard.
I was going to say that. That was actually my point
I
too.
stole it.
Yeah, it's okay.
Next question. I want to go on vacation, but I feel I can't leave my reselling business because I'll lose too much money. How do I avoid revenue loss? Doesn't stop us.
Yeah.
We have no problem.
No.
And look, we don't want revenue loss as well.
No.
We do not put, let's say, our Poshmark closet or anything
eBay store
on vacation. If we have someone, as an example, that makes an offer, we don't send out offers so much. Let's say we're going for 7 days.
Yeah.
We won't send out
not so
offers
aggressive.
for the first 1 to 3 days.
Right.
We wait until the 4th day when we know we're going to be getting back before too long.
Yeah.
Now, if we have someone that makes an offer, even if it's on the first day that we're gone, we will write them and say, look, you know, let's say we like the offer, whatever. We'll accept the offer. However, please note, we will not be able to ship this item until such and such a time. We've never had an issue with someone complaining about that.
Same thing. You know, I know a lot of people are worried about the eBay stores because, you know, obviously eBay is very, very, it's very touchy when it comes to ship time and acceptance and all that stuff.
Listing daily.
All that stuff.
You know, all that jazz.
So what we always recommend is that you maybe up your ship time just for maybe a day or two. And then depending on how long you're away for, and then of course adjust it accordingly if we ever, I think we only put our vacation mode on once on Poshmark. And I think like with only like 5 days.
We got too itchy.
It was like with 5 days remaining of our trip, we turned it right back on. And we just kind of said, okay, we're not going to be so
we were
aggressive.
gone like 13 days that time.
So what we did was, though, I will tell you, like, because we use a sharing service, we use Posh Sidekick to share. We did turn off like our automatic offer to likers, so it wasn't so aggressive for the first couple of days. And then once we realized, like John said, once we could reach out to potential clients about an offer, then we would turn it back on for the service that we use.
Yeah, exactly.
Makes sense.
Look, most people do use automation. It is what it is. And pretty much I would say most people we know use some form of automation to help them. Also keep in mind, apps, such as, Crosslisting app, so forth. It's an app. You can work. Let's say you're driving in a car and, you're driving to wherever you're going. You can still get work done. Let's say you're sitting on the beach and, you decide you want to get a few things done. You can get things done remotely now. The world has changed,
We've taken cruises and literally done work all of Crosslisting. Sent out, we either delisted, relisted, or we added more items, obviously. We did a lot of work.
So point being, the world doesn't stop. With automation now and all these different tools that are offered, you can keep going.
It doesn't have to stop just because you're away.
You might not be at the same volume of sales, but you can still, can still make money for sure. All right, next question. I want to become a full-time seller, but I'm really nervous to leave my job, even though the pay sucks. Matt, not good.
Oh, sorry.
When will I know it's time to make the jump? Okay, we have been interviewed on this topic gazillions of times over the past 10 years of reselling. And we kind of feel at whatever point you are reaching about 2/3 of your income. And because let's say, if you have a full-time job and you're a part-time reseller, if you can get to 2/3 of your income and then you can do full-time reselling, you're good. You should be good. Now, of course, it's always wise. Make sure you don't spend every penny you make because there are ups and downs in reselling. That in retail, when we had stores, it was like that. So you really have to make sure you save and keep liquidity to buy new merchandise. But normally that kind of is the measure. You have to be making at least 2/3 of what you were making in a standardized job, if that makes sense. Hope that helps. Let's see. We have, number 4. I love the items I source and really take great care in curating a beautiful closet.
Oh.
So why am not selling?
Well, I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know if you can give an answer on why you're not selling.
Well, I went because this person also gave us their closet name, so we went and took a look. Absolutely beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
And I really kept looking at the question, and it clicked to me. And this is something we have always said in our stores. She says, she loves the items that she sources for her closet. Her closet was beautiful, very, very well put together, absolutely amazing. Photography, perfect,
Good aesthetic.
Her sales volume was not as high as she wished it to be because she had one look.
Yeah.
One look. She only chose her aesthetic.
Yeah.
So obviously there's some people that were really into, let's say, her aesthetic, so to speak. But that's not to say that enough people wanted what she would wear herself.
Right.
You know, initially Poshmark was designed for people to sell items for their own closet. They never, I think, imagined that people would actually start sourcing merchandise to sell, and it just kind of evolved in that direction. You always have to keep in mind, your taste is not everyone else's. It's really important to sell a menagerie of styles because you're hitting a lot of different markets.
Yeah.
If you're a one-trick pony, you're only going to find, so many people that are going to ride your pony, so to speak.
I don't know if
that was a good line.
That was a terrible analogy. I mean, it's good. It's a good analogy, but
you get what I'm saying. You get what
I'm saying.
Kind
of a terrible analogy too, in the same sense, but
right. So funny. So when we used to buy for, we had a chain of.
I was just about to say this
men's
again.
Clothing stores.
Out of my head.
9 stores.
This is so true.
It never failed. If it was something that I loved and personally that I would wear, it would end up on the clearance rack.
Everything I ever picked out for the stores would always
never sold.
Yeah, never sold.
It's important to know what the client wants to buy, not necessarily what you want to wear yourself.
Right. It's
just that way.
Also, firm believer in, and we've done this. We've talked about this in newspaper articles, podcasts, videos. We've always said, you know what? Look, try to give someone as much variety as possible when they're inside of your store.
Greatest opportunity for a sale.
Think of it as a brick and mortar store. When we had our brick and mortar stores, we tried to package the walls with as much variety from one side of the spectrum to the other, because I don't want somebody to find one item and then have to go somewhere else to find the other 10.
Yeah, exactly.
Try to pinpoint and get as many things as possible. That
Bundles, and more the merrier.
Bundles. So we're a firm believer in have more variety in your closet, and honestly, you'll see things move around for sure.
What he said.
Exactly.
All right, next we have. I hate to have to answer this one, but I'm going to do it anyway.
We're going to do it anyway.
What are your thoughts on Poshmark promoted listings?
Now, we've been asked this question since I think they started promoted listings.
We love Poshmark. We love the executives. I have got something in my eye. It's driving me crazy. I'm just going to say that. Promoted listings are great, but they're not working. And we can only base this on, we have actually not done it. However, we personally know dozens and dozens of people that do or have. Do they feel they did get a few sales here or there? Yes. Do they feel that the price that they were paying, the turnaround worked? No, no, they don't. And not to say that it won't happen or work in the future. I think they have a lot of tweaking to do.
Yeah.
I do believe, and Brad's more familiar with this than I am, the eBay way is better.
Well,
in regard to this.
Yeah, I really think, and this is what you
should pay on the back end.
You should pay, like on eBay, if you have an eBay store, if anyone knows watching, when you do a promoted listing, number one, you can adjust the percentage of how much you want to promote it by, and you can also promote it by listing. Yeah. Which is great. And also too, you don't lose that percentage. You don't pay you don't pay anything on that promoted listing on eBay unless the item sells, which means you can adjust it up and down. But until that item sells, if you have a shirt, you're not going to pay for that shirt's promoted listing promotion price until the item sells. That's then broken down in the breakdown of the sale. On Poshmark, it's different. You pay ahead, so you pay weekly. So that can be a little bit of a problem because you don't really know it's not. You don't really know which items are going to get it because they don't let you select each one. It just randomly selects out of your closet. So that's obviously tough because if you're trying to move stale merchandise or older merchandise, or if you want to move a certain kind of season or whatever's trending right now, it's hard to promote each one because I don't know if, I mean, it's still in beta mode. I know there's been a lot of feedback. They've asked us what our thoughts were from other people's feedback. And that's definitely something we've told them is that, I think it's very important to, you have to pay by each listing promotion. I would not want to pay ahead of time, let's say weekly, nothing sells and I have no idea which items in my closet are being promoted to sell faster.
If the money came out, if you sold an item and that item was promoted and basically you paid once you sold the item.
Yeah.
I think people would be all in for it.
Yeah. Look, anything to do to help make a sale, you put that into the sale equation. So, but yeah, I think the
pay
whole
up front and not know
the mystery bag so to call it of like you're not really knowing which one gets what discount. That's a problem.
That.
Yeah.
All right. Here's another controversial one, but we don't mean it to be this way. But we're going to tell our
He's gonna ask.
Do you follow?
Oh, I know which one's
or
gonna ask now.
belong to any reseller Facebook groups? And if so, which ones do you suggest or recommend? Yes and no. We are part of a few like product companies, like tools and things like that, because it's always interesting to hear about new announcements. Posh Sidekick, Crosslisting, all these different things.
Well, so you get tips, you get tricks. You can even ask the developers of these programs and stuff like that. Tools
about a certain part of the platform.
It's a good way to learn.
So those types of things we are part of.
Yes.
Because they really are very information based. People ask questions, you get an answer, and a lot of times people will ask a question that's in your head that you get an answer to and you never had to ask.
Yes.
The other ones that are social reseller platforms.
That was a pleasant way.
We no longer, we used to years and years ago, we were part of them. What we found is, look, it's kind of like a sore tooth. Your tongue always goes to it.
Yeah.
There's a lot in, not all, but there is a lot in many of the groups that really have nothing to do with reselling. It's more a matter of chit chat, and not always the most positive chit chat.
Gossipy.
So, cheers to it all. Cheers, and
That's
look, whatever makes you happy. But you know what we found? You end up spending a lot of time in those groups, and not so much time.
I was just gonna say it. So obviously, like John was just saying, what we realized. I mean,
it's only natural that human beings gravitate towards.
So what's going? Yeah, I mean, obviously, whether topics are being talked about or gossipy or whatever it is.
And if you do, you do. Whatever.
Yeah, no, look, and some of them we know a lot of people that love it and they get a lot of great energy off of it, and that's wonderful. For us, there's not enough time in the day when it comes to running all of our platforms. We also do live sales on multiple platforms, running our businesses, our everyday life. It is a lot. We're very big on social media, obviously. So keeping control of that as well. It's like you can't fit all these things. We don't have really time to sit for a long period of time to get involved in some of the stuff that's not going to help us move forward in our career.
Look, personally, I think we'll end it with this. This is something that we kind of saw, and we're talking going years back, is that often people were saying they weren't making sales, business was so bad, it's horrible, and yada, yada, yada. But you can see that they comment on every post in Facebook groups, that they get into Facebook group fights
or drama
and all that, and they spend so much time. No wonder. It would kind of be like you go to a job, let's say you work at, Walmart, but you spend the whole day in the break room.
Oh, yeah, gossiping all. That's a good analogy.
And you expect to keep your job.
Yes.
Doesn't work.
Put blinders on. It's one of those things where, like, honestly, and John's right, especially people who are not familiar with retail, especially people who came from, let's say, a 9-to-5 type job that wasn't retail based, and now they're into a retail base, as in what we do for a living, reselling. it is tough to not, yeah, it takes a lot to understand how the wave of retail works. You don't want to spend and get caught up in all of that, because then honestly it takes away from your focus of running your business.
Yeah.
And
look, whatever you do, whatever makes you happy, do it.
of course.
Do it well,
Yeah.
enjoy it, do you.
Again, disclaimer.
It just may be a major distraction.
Yeah.
Maybe you can find one that's positive.
Yeah.
I'm sure they exist. I'm sure
they're definitely out there somewhere.
All right, that's it for today. Thank you, everybody, for joining us yet again. And it's time to say lovey.
Yeah, we'll see you guys on the next one. That was very, very fancy.
Au revoir.
I can't with this one. Anyway, make sure you guys like this and subscribe if you haven't, or consider subscribing if you already haven't subscribed to our channel. And definitely check out the links down below in our description for all the tools that we have used, and also our social media pickups. And we'll see you guys on the next one.
What he said. Take care, everybody. Be well.
Have a good one.
Cheers.